Hey, everybody, welcome to today's show. Welcome to Equality and Rights for All. I'm your host, Anthony Lorito-Duke, and we have two topics for today's show, in which the first one is uh, on Friday, May 15th, New York governor will start phase one of reopening the state. And the second topic is Fauci gives testimony today before the U.S. Senate in which he stipulated that if the uh, if the United States opens up the economy too much too quickly, then there will be a big problem with the second wave of the COVID-19. Now let's get right into the first one. On Friday, May 15th, New York governor to start phase one of reopening the state. And I'm sure everybody has heard this, and he's planning to reopen the economy in New York in small phases, not just boom, reopen everything and then stuff like that. No, he's doing it the smart way, ladies and gentlemen. Small little bits in between. And the governor even said that between each phase, right? Between each phase, like from phase one to phase two to phase three to phase four, in between each phase, he's going by the CDC guidelines and um and giving 2 weeks or about 2 weeks in between each phase. Okay? And depending upon how each region is doing in regards to this. All right? So now, if like a lot of regions in upstate New York, they're doing very well with regard to the amount of cases of the COVID-19 and stuff like that, and the amount of hospitalizations and stuff like that. So they're doing very well, okay, compared to like certain regions in downstate New York, like New York City, Sussex, areas like that, and in which there are larger cases of the COVID-19 because of the density in each region. And so, um, and if people listen the first time, that's another big thing, ladies and gentlemen. People don't listen the first time when people speak to them. And that's a big problem because people just want everything now, right now, 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 now. And we understand that with the lockdown, everybody's hurting. It's understandable. And people are going, you know, crazy being locked away, locked inside doors and stuff like that. But we got to do the reopening the right way because we don't want to have a second major wave of the COVID-19. We don't want that. So to try to avoid that, doing the reopening the small little sections and small phases and stuff like that. And the governor of New York even said that each region has to meet 7 metric units in order for each region to open up. You know, if uh if any regions meet all seven, they can fully open up. If any regions do not meet all seven, then those particular regions cannot fully open up. So he's doing it in small sections, and even when each region opens up, uh, again, they got to meet all these criteria, and they have to be low risk. The businesses have to prove that they're going according to the guidelines, and taking necessary precautionary measures. So there is a lot that goes into this. And this is the right way of doing it because of the fact that we don't want to take the chance of having a major second wave of the COVID-19. Now, don't get me wrong, there are many other viruses out there, but why make matters worse? You know, seriously. And yes, do we have antibodies in us that help protect us from viruses? Yes. But there are certain people out there, like the elderly people, people with underlying conditions whose body cannot fight that. So everybody counts, not just certain people and whatever. No, and e- even with you know antibody testings that are being done, all these tests are being done throughout the state of New York, and that's great. And um, but the governor even said, no matter what, even when we do get the vaccines and stuff for the COVID-19, the virus is not going to go away 100%, ladies and gentlemen. And that's just pure common sense. Just like with any other virus out there. Okay? It's not going to go away 100%, but we got to make it the cases a very minimal amount. All right? So let's just do things the right way. Slowly open up, okay? And then that way, because people forget all the time, and I've said this many times before, people forget who won the race between the rabbit and the turtle. Hence, it was the turtle that won the race. Slow and steady always wins the race. Opening up slowly, little bits here and there, and just like waiting the 2 weeks in between or whatever, then before you know it, the economy will reopen back up. But we just got to do it the right way. And people have to learn how to listen too. How so? By listening to when people talk, meaning keeping the 6 feet difference, social distancing, wearing masks out in public if you're going to be, in areas where there's going to be, large population, like in transportation, supermarkets, stuff like that, where you know that there's going to be a lot of people there. And these are the areas where you cannot keep social distancing. So the proper precautionary measure is if you're going to be in stores or public transportation, you got to wear a mask. Plain and simple. All right. And there's many people out there that are not listening to this and they just want to, oh, I'll just do whatever I feel like and I'll go to all these stores and I won't wear a mask. And if anybody says anything to me, I walk around with my brain up my ass and to being too stupid and I'll cry and complain and all this other nonsense. Like what people are doing in Florida at the beaches, you know, and in many other states, they're crowding into businesses. And then even, I'm sure people even read, it's been out in public that in certain states, you have fast food restaurant workers that are telling people that, the main dining room area is closed. You can't eat in because especially, for, people are not wearing masks or whatever. And then these people are getting so angry with the workers. And it's not the workers' fault. They're doing the right thing. They're doing their jobs. And then they're taking out on workers like, oh my God, you don't know. Really? You gotta be seriously? So, and now businesses are closing back down because people are acting stupid. They're walking around with their brains up their asses, and they think that their stuff don't stink. And then poof, all of a sudden, businesses have to close back down again because of these morons. Now let's get right into the second topic of today's show. Fauci gives testimony before the U.S. Senate today. Okay, and he said before the Senate that if the United States opens up the economy too much too fast, there's going to be a big problem because that's going to lead to a big, major second wave of the virus. And he said that in his testimony. And speaking of which, you had the jackass Vice President Pence who went into a medical location not wearing masks, right? And there was a big uproar about that, and you know thinks his stuff don't stink like Trump does, right? And now all of a sudden, big problems are happening at the White House. What's going on? One, the valet person for Trump caught the virus. One of the aides for Pence caught the virus. One of the aides for Trump's daughter caught the virus. Oh, you think your crap don't stink? You don't want to listen the first time when people speak to you, and then you're gonna cry like babies and whatever. And poof, look what happens. Look what happens, right? And now all of a sudden, yesterday at the news briefing over at the White House, what happens? Trump made a rule that everybody who entering the West Wing has to wear a mask. Ah, all of a sudden he gets his brain out of his ass and starts to use intelligence for once in his life. Ah, all of a sudden, magically, right? Now, uh, now that Fauci gave his testimony today and stuff like that, uh, just miraculously, Trump pulled his head out of his ass and is doing things like this. Miraculously, you know, and then he's still fighting still fighting against the Democrats saying, oh, no, the economy has to fully open. And Trump even said that the Democrats don't want to bite the bullet and only want to open up the economy slowly and not want to bite the bullet and cause a lot more deaths. And we just have to accept hundreds of thousands of people dying, every day and whatever, so that we can open up the economy. That's what he said. That's what Trump said. Yeah, we have to accept thousands of people have to die and all this other stuff. Yeah. That's what he said because he only wants the economy to open. And why does he want the economy open so badly? I'll tell you why. Because he's running his reelection on I gotta have a booming economy. I'm gonna have a booming economy. I'm gonna have a booming economy. Ah, no. Uh-uh. Oh, I gotta have a booming economy because if I don't have a booming economy, I'm gonna look stupid and all this other stuff, and I'm gonna blame the Democrats for everything. Really? Seriously? And that's his excuse. He goes around pointing the finger at everybody else instead of saying, I'm going to point the finger at myself because I'm the dumbass who doesn't want to listen the first time when people talk to me, you know, and stuff like that. So, really, unbelievable. But, anyways, I just want to take this time to remind everybody about my business, my website, which is Advocate Information Highway, and the link to there is awldny.com. And you guys can check out all the pages on there. And in a few more minutes, I will host my other show, Disabled Reality. I'm sorry that I haven't hosted both shows in a couple of weeks. A lot has been going on. So I'm going to host both shows today. Not for this week, but I'm going to try to make up for last week and stuff. So in a few more minutes, I will host my other show, Disabled Reality. And I hope to speak to everybody again this Thursday, which is May 14th, for this show, Equality and Rights for All. And so with that, take care, everybody. Bye.